Marcus Chen hadn't believed in second chances until his 6-year-old daughter taught him that sometimes the smallest voices carry the biggest truths. That Tuesday evening, sitting in the corner booth of Giuseppe's Italian restaurant, he was about to make the biggest mistake of his life, walking away from someone who would change everything. But Emma, his wise beyond her years little girl with pigtails and a heart too big for her tiny body, saw what he couldn't. She saw past the expensive suit, past the walls he'd built around his wounded heart, and recognized something her daddy had forgotten: genuine kindness. The blind date had been a disaster from the start. Marcus had only agreed because his assistant Patricia had begged him for weeks. "You can't spend every evening in that penthouse office, Marcus. Emma needs to see her father living, not just surviving." Since his ex-wife Claire had walked out 2 years ago, choosing her modeling career over their family, Marcus had poured everything into his tech empire and raising Emma alone. Dating seemed like an unnecessary risk. But Patricia was relentless, insisting her friend Sarah Mitchell, a kindergarten teacher, the sweetest woman you'll ever meet, would be perfect. Marcus agreed mainly to stop the nagging, never intending to actually connect. The moment he walked into Giuseppe's, Emma's hand in his, he spotted Sarah. She sat nervously smoothing her simple navy dress, checking her phone. Nothing glamorous about her, no designer bag, no flashy jewelry. Just a ponytail and minimal makeup. Marcus felt his jaw tighten. This was perfect. Someone so ordinary. His ex-wife had been a showstopper, tall, stunning, always camera ready. And she'd left without a second thought. Maybe ordinary was exactly what he didn't need. "Daddy, is that the lady we're meeting?" Emma whispered. "Yeah, sweetheart, but I don't think this is going to work out." Before he could turn around, Sarah looked up and waved. Emma waved back enthusiastically. They approached, and Marcus forced a smile. "Sarah, I'm Marcus, and this is Emma." "Hi." Sarah immediately knelt to Emma's level. "Emma, I love your butterfly clips. Purple is such a pretty color." Emma beamed. "Thank you. Daddy picked them out, but he says he's not good at hair stuff." Sarah laughed warmly. "Well, he did a great job. You look beautiful." As they sat, Marcus analyzed everything clinically, looking for reasons to leave early. Sarah ordered water, no wine. She seemed nervous, fumbling with her napkin. She ordered the cheapest pasta on the menu. He'd made up his mind. She probably wanted his money, his status. He'd give it 30 minutes and make an excuse. But then Emma started talking. His usually shy daughter began chattering about school, her favorite books, her goldfish bubbles. And Sarah listened, really listened, asking questions, laughing at Emma's jokes, engaging naturally. Tommy Sanders said girls can't be scientists, but Miss Rodriguez proved him wrong. Emma said indignantly. "Tommy doesn't know what he's talking about," Sarah said firmly. "Marie Curie won 2 Nobel Prizes. Katherine Johnson helped put astronauts in space. You could be a scientist too if you wanted. You could be anything." Marcus watched, feeling something uncomfortable twist in his chest. When had someone last spoken to Emma like this? Not as a way to reach him, but as a person worth knowing. His phone buzzed, the perfect excuse to leave. He was reaching for it when Emma knocked over her water glass. Oh no. Emma's eyes filled with tears as water spread across the table, dripping onto Sarah's lap. Marcus tensed, waiting for the reaction. Claire would have snapped, made a scene. But Sarah grabbed napkins and started cleaning, smiling at Emma. "Hey, it's okay. Accidents happen. I spill things all the time." She looked at her wet dress and shrugged. "See, no harm done." "I'm so sorry," Emma whimpered. "There's nothing to apologize for," Sarah said gently, squeezing Emma's hand. "When I was your age, I knocked over an entire pitcher of juice on my grandmother's cat." She just laughed and said, "Well, at least Mr. Whiskers needed a bath." Emma giggled through her tears, and Marcus felt his walls crack. They got through dinner with Emma dominating the conversation. Marcus learned Sarah had taught kindergarten for 4 years, volunteered at an animal shelter, lived in a small apartment with her rescue dog Biscuit. Nothing impressive, nothing that mattered in his world. When the check came, Marcus grabbed it. As they left, he planned to make this a clean break. Thank her politely and never see her again. But at the exit, Emma suddenly ran back and threw her arms around Sarah's waist. "Thank you for being nice to me," Emma said. Sarah knelt down, hugging her properly. Thank you for making this evening so special. You're such a smart, sweet girl. Marcus felt his throat tighten. When had Emma last trusted someone so quickly? In the parking lot, Sarah spoke first. Marcus, I can tell you didn't want to be here tonight. That's okay. You don't have to call. No hard feelings. She smiled. But I do want to say, Emma is an incredible kid. You're doing something very right. No pitch for a second date. No attempt to impress him. Just genuine recognition of the one thing that mattered most. Before Marcus could respond, Emma tugged his jacket. Daddy, can we see Miss Sarah again? Please. She's nice. 3 simple words. She's nice. Not impressive or sophisticated. Just nice. Marcus looked from Emma to Sarah, and for the first time that evening, he really saw her. The patience with Emma's spill. The authentic engagement with his daughter's stories. The grace in handling his disinterest without guilt-tripping him. When had nice become something to dismiss rather than treasure? Do you like the aquarium? The words tumbled out. Sarah blinked, surprised. Yes. Emma's been wanting to see the jellyfish exhibit. Would you come with us Saturday? Sarah's expression softened. I'd really like that. Daddy said yes. Emma squealed. That Saturday became a pattern. Sarah fit into their lives like a missing puzzle piece. She never tried to replace Emma's mother or win Marcus over with grand gestures. She simply showed up. At school plays, the park, movie nights. Emma blossomed, drawing pictures of our family, 3 stick figures holding hands. Marcus found himself opening up about the divorce, his fears. Sarah shared her own story of a broken engagement, of learning to trust again. We teach our kids more through actions than words, Sarah said one evening. Emma's learning it's okay to be hurt, but that doesn't mean we stop trying. 6 months later, Marcus found himself back at Giuseppe's. Same booth. But this time, no reluctance, no walls. Sarah sat across from him, Emma between them. Daddy, can we tell Miss Sarah? Emma whispered loudly. Marcus laughed, reaching for the velvet box in his pocket. I think it's time, sweetheart. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth as he revealed a simple, elegant ring. Sarah Mitchell, Marcus said, his voice full of emotion, you saw me at my worst, closed off, ready to walk away. But you stayed kind anyway. You showed me that sometimes the most extraordinary thing is someone who's genuinely, beautifully nice. He paused. Would you marry us? Would you be Emma's mom and my wife? Yes, Sarah whispered, then louder, laughing through tears. Yes. Emma cheered as Marcus slipped on the ring, and the restaurant erupted in applause. Later, tucking Emma into bed, his daughter looked up sleepily. Daddy, aren't you glad we didn't walk away? Marcus kissed her forehead. Every single day, sweetheart. Every single day. Because sometimes it takes a child's wisdom to remind us that in a world obsessed with credentials and perfection, the most valuable quality is a kind heart. Sarah had taught him that wealth isn't measured in portfolios, but in moments of grace and genuine love. Marcus had been prepared to walk away because he'd been looking for all the wrong things. But Emma, with childhood clarity, had recognized something far more important: authentic connection and someone who loved without agenda. As he walked downstairs where Sarah waited on the couch with her dog and a book, Marcus understood he'd been given something more valuable than any business deal: a family built on choice. They'd chosen each other, and that was the greatest success of all.